I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets carried.
Because I was having Jen get the baby blankets to wrap around him out of my car.
I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets carried.
Because I was having Jen get the baby blankets to wrap around him out of my car.
I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets carried.
Because I was having Jen get the baby blankets to wrap around him.
What's going on?
There's a guy unresponsive in the snow. 34 Fairview Road in Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow.
Okay, hit the heel toe, hit the heel toe, hit the heel toe, let's go, let's go. Hit the heel toe, hit the heel toe, hit the heel toe, let's go, let's go. Y'all ready? Okay, hit the heel toe, hit the.
He then texted your wife, Brian Albert, and Nicole Albert, quote, tell them the guy never went in the house, correct?
Yeah, that's part of the same text. Yes.
Mr. McCabe, who was the guy that you were referring to? Does he have a name?
That would be John O'Keefe.
The guy never went in the house. Brian Albert was on that exchange still, was he not? He was still part of the group text?
Yes, Brian is on the exchange.
And Brian Albert was the one to respond, wasn't he? In his response to your instructions that his younger brother, Chris, should say that John O'Keefe never went in the house, or the guy never went in the house, you would agree with me that he responded with one word, correct?
Yes, he did.
And in response to you saying the guy never went in the house, Brian Albert's response was exactly, correct?
Yes, that's his response.
You appreciate the things that you two do, you and James, right? They're decorated dudes. They're decorated dudes.
They're
Decorated dudes. What? You and James. You wrong. You wrong. Hey, man, what's up, guys? Kevin from South Boston.
Hey, man, what's up, guys? Kevin from South Boston.
Hey, man, what's up, guys? Kevin from South Boston.
Nasty.
Please don't go. You would ruin my whole world. Wow, would you believe it? I'm back. I don't know how I'm still awake. Took a little nap. Your boy is back, though.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's not easy.
This one's explosive.
Let's go.
Welcome to the J.F.K. stream for sure, people.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This one's explosive.
What up? God damn. Woo. I'm here, though. I'm here. Looking crazy, but I'm here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your first time ever flying on Fuckery Airlines. This is the first time at the Fuckery Donut Shop, or your first time ever on the JFK channel. You're wondering, who is this guy? Why does he think he's a pilot? Well, I am a pilot. I navigate through the struggle. 39,000 feet above the bullshit, and you are now on board. So what you got to do first is, if you got some carry-on luggage, please put it up in the bins. We got plenty of room this flight. But if you have a backpack, please put it right in front of you and make sure it's real tight, because things tend to move in flight. But before you do, take out your Hershey's Kisses, your Peppermint Patties, your M&Ms, your Cliff Bars, your vapes, your nips, whatever your vice might be. Put your trays up, because I'm about to take you up to 39,000 feet. You know, turbulence in the chat keeps the plane rocking. And if you populate them goals in different area codes, we could get the conversation moving. And if you didn't know, this is a message from the flight deck, and we expect clear air turbulence, so buckle up. What's up, people? This is Pot 34. Would you believe it?
Static Selector.
Yeah! We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on you. We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history.
This one's explosive.
We got gifted 5 JFK memberships. Thank you so much. We keep it all green in the chat. It is the season of giving. Please give some memberships to the people. Becky coming through with some goals right off of takeoff. She's populating them goals. Allie, what up, girl? She loves me. Well, I love you too. And I really appreciate that. I really do. And Becky with 1 JFK membership. That's so nice, Allie. I needed to hear that for sure. Appreciate that. You know, that was really nice, Allie. Deborah, wow. That's crazy. Wow, I'm flattered. I really am. I really am flattered. That goes a long way, right? You know, because I try to be a good guy. But without further ado, I'm going to bring up my behind the scenes panelist, too. Well, behind the scenes man and the panelist who's been working too. He goes by the name of Jay Brilliant. What up, Jay?
How are you?
What's happening, Captain? We're back, dude. We're back. And,
We got some good news tonight.
oh, man. It's a wild. So before we go further, this is Pot 34, Politics as Usual in Massachusetts. And if you read the title, it says Margo Nash is back. And in big capital letters, it says the SWERVE. So we've been under the impression, all of us been under the impression. Adi, pick up the phone, Adi. Pick up the phone. Is that you, Adi? You all caught up? He's all caught up. We all been underneath the impression that Adi is very, very much involved in this. And rightfully so. Some of us think that Adi might have actually did this to Janet Downing, and Eddie did not. Well, then we got Paul. Some people say it's Paul, JFK. EPAG says she's willing to bet it's Paul Sr.'s DNA. But we did have a woman up here named Lady Zelda, right?
Yeah, we did.
She was talking about a woman involved. Would you believe it? She was talking about a woman being involved. Some people say it's Paul Jr. Because Paul Jr. used to try on his mother's dress and the high heels. And Mom Dukes used to be like, yo, take that shit off.
That
Would you believe that? We know that Danny lived across the street. Gina Mahoney lived across the street. We also talked to Colleen, who lived up the street on Myrtle Street, right? Was it Myrtle Street, she said, I think?
I don't remember the street. She
Well,
said
she
it was
lived up the street. They all live in the same neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm. It was right behind Eddie's house, the street behind.
Mm-hmm. And Adi was looking for her key. But you know what? One time on the show in the chat, who remembers when we asked Artie who called his Artie, you all caught up out there? Artie, you all caught up?
I don't think he's caught up.
Not caught up. Let me make a phone
I don't
call.
think.
Artie. Can I speak to Artie, please? This is J.F.K. and Jay Brilliant. From the J.F.K. show, Fuckery Donuts. Fuckery Donuts. What type of donuts do you like? Well, when you see Adi, can you tell him that we got a fresh jelly donut here for him? Got a couple of bagels, too. All right? We got munchkins. We call them kick rock munchkins. Yeah. So when he eats it, he could kick rocks. We got play in traffic croissants. After he eats a croissant, he can go play in traffic. All right? All right. Fuckery Donuts is officially open. Goodbye. Goddamn. People are bugged out there, Jay Brilliant.
Yeah, they are.
But here's the thing. We asked him, right? We said, who hit your wifey up? Who hit your wife up? Do you remember what he said?
I remember what he said. You want me to tell him? Carrie
My
Ann.
brother.
He said Carrie Ann hit him up.
Carrie Ann. The same Carrie Ann that Gina Mahoney says that she was trouble. Same Carrie Ann that Colleen says she gave Janet trouble. Same Carrie Ann who had a baby boy at the time, the same baby boy who's now 30-something years old that was at the parole hearing crying, saying that I seen videos of my grandmom's Janet. I hate Eddie O'Brien. We also always was wondering why, if Eddie seen the person, why wouldn't he just say who the fuck it was, right? And why would he be so scared? You're scared of Adi? You're scared of Adi, huh? Why would you be scared of Adi? Is he that scary? We asked everybody in the neighborhood. We said, was an Adi a scary guy? Danny said he did have somewhat of a, swag about him to the younger boys. But for the most part, we never got this violent, tough, yo, kid, I'll smash your fucking face type Somerville, stereotypical, that is. Somerville cat from back in them days. What are you looking at, though? You think I'm funny? I'll hit you with so many lefts, you'll be begging for a right, though, huh? Huh, kid? You wanna fuck around, though? I know your father. One of them kids. He wasn't one of those dudes. So why did Eddie keep his mouth shut if it was Adi? And why would he be so afraid not to say anything if it was Adi? Would he really be afraid that Adi would run up in his house and kill his whole family like the person in the house allegedly, supposedly said? Is he really worried about that? Is that really a possibility? Thanks, JFK, J Bro, Kev, Mars, Long Gay Mars, Chat. I'm home. Congratulations, girl, that you're home. Hope forever. Couldn't have made it without you. Love all you. God is good. God is good. Let's
Absolutely.
stay home. Let's stay home, all right? Carrie Ann is sus to me. So with that being said, what is going on? What is the swerve? Have you talked to Margo Nash? Jay, bro.
I just sent her the link. That's why I went black for a minute.
All black, everything. Oh, JFK, twice in one day in your home. Doesn't get much better than that. Well, I'm not actually in Beantown just yet. I got an early flight tomorrow. That's going to be fucking great. Atlanta Airport is like, yeesh. Just Google Atlanta Airport. It's not a very nice place. It is fuckery.
Isn't that a pretty big airport too?
The biggest.
That's what I thought.
Busy. People are rude. Because it's so busy, man. I mean, it's crazy, dude. If you got anxiety, you might not want to wake up and drink a cup of coffee and go through Atlanta Airport. You might have a full-blown panic attack. Yeah, it's real busy and shit. Yeah, hopefully. And then there's a lot of delays. It's Christmas time, man. I hope nothing is delayed. Last time when I came from Miami, my flight was delayed like 2 hours.
Really?
That shit's what? Yeah. And then it's like, it was no big deal because I was on my way home. It was a late flight. But I tried to get into Boston around like 1 p.m. so I could slide out of Beantown, slide out of Logan, and get out of that traffic. Because if you land in Boston at 5 o'clock, you're just as fucked too. You know what I mean? You're trapped in that. You're trapped in that traffic too.
After 2:30, leaving Boston is the worst.
It's the worst. So try to keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully everything works out.
Let me see if she got that email. Hold on, I'll be right back.
She's here. She's here.
All right.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is Part 34. Thank you for waiting. We appreciate your patience. Santa Claus is at the Prudential. We call him the Suede Santa. Go take a picture with Santa Claus. Put on your pajamas. Drink some hot cocoa. But before you do, make sure you watch this episode. This is Part 34. Politics as usual. Margo Nash, the great, the elegant, the intelligent. I need everybody to put them peace signs up. Show some love for Margo Nash. This is the Swerve, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's going to get interesting.
Every now and then I look up to the sky, and while the minutes pass I lose track of time, but all I gotta do is try to spend it right. Let's take one more time to celebrate like there ain't no tomorrow. So let's just make a memory, 'cause tomorrow will be too late. Don't think twice and hesitate, 'cause it's all that we got for now. Just one more time to make it great. Yeah, just one more time.
Margo, welcome back to the J.F.K. panel. How you doing, girl?
I'm well, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I can hear you. I can hear you. So, Margo, this is
all Jay's fault, you know.
Yes, it is.
This is Jay's fault. Yeah, Jay
Hey, I
is.
think you could break the news better than me. You know.
So
Well,
this is part.
you know,
This is. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I told him, can I call you later this afternoon to talk to you about something? And he starts texting me. Well, I can't wait. You got my mind going, and anyway. So that's why I'm here, because it's Jay's fault.
Let me lay it out for you, Margo. Right? Since you don't have your black robe on tonight, because you're something like a judge, right? You're just a smart. You should be a judge. So let me lay it out. So ain't I. Shit. So let me try to get my Alan Jackson on. This is Pod 34. Politics as usual, Massachusetts. The lovely, elegant, intelligent Margo Nash is back, but there's a swerve. There's a lot of things we found out about cabs. We found out about cats. In 30 years, we never knew about a cat. That was a big area of inquiry that you said out your mouth in trial. They testified no one had a cat. We found that out 30 years later. We also found out that Paul Jr. was wearing his mother's dress and high heels. You never found that out. We found that out now. But now we found something else out because you and Jay been behind the scenes chatting. And so why don't you let everybody know what you have found out?
Well, it's actually a lead that someone gave me. Someone called me right after the book came out. So we're talking maybe 10 years ago that this person called me. And I was unable to get very far in the investigation of it. We had a couple of investigators try to investigate it, and we could corroborate some things, but not others. The decision was made by Eddie's lawyers that we couldn't use this information because for various reasons, legal reasons that they had. And we weren't able to get very far. That's all I'll say. So I said to Eddie, let's tell Jason about it. I said, he's like a dog with a bone. He'll find out, you know? And so he said, sure, we're not going to be able to use it for the appeal, the Rule 30. So I called him and told him about this lead that I'd gotten 10 years ago. And I got a telephone call from a guy who worked for a law office, in a law office. And I'm not going to give the name of my source.
That's fine. I think you paused
for this.
That's all right. She pausing up a little bit. That's all right.
Froze up.
Yeah, she froze up.
But
you
anyway,
can see me, right? Margo Nash
and
is freezing up.
I'm freezing.
Yeah, you're freezing up. You're a little lagging, but that's all right.
Yeah, I got terrible Wi-Fi down here.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that.
Anyway, he said that he always thought that this guy that is known to them through the law office was an extremely good suspect, and we should look at it. And he didn't understand why anybody did. And he called me, and the book came out in 2016, so he called me right after that. But he had his information from 1997. Okay. And actually, I'm going to let Jay decide whether or not he's going to name the suspect or not. I'm going to just call him ML. Okay. If that's okay. So he said that this ML was someone that he had gotten information about because he was accused of assaulting a train conductor, and he was he had mental illness, that he was emotionally troubled, and he had been throwing cinder blocks at this train, and it almost derailed it. He then beat up the conductor, and it was because he thought that the train was dropping mercuric acid in his backyard that was killed his father, or was killing his father. So, you know, it was, anyway.
Sounds like a guy that would put kitty
he had some issues. He had some issues. And he said that that he gave me the name of the person, and I had never heard of him, didn't know anything about him. That was the first I ever heard of him. And when I did an initial investigation about it, I found out he was Carrie Ann's boyfriend. This guy.
What, this lawyer never knew that?
The lawyer did not tell me that. No, I learned that afterwards. Yeah, I don't think he knew that. He just knew, what he knew is that this guy had the opportunity to look at his computer, at the ML's computer, and ML's computer had over 100 letters to Janet Downing. Some were written before she died, some were written after she died, but he had about 25. I got my notes now, so I know what I'm talking about. That he had about 24 or 25 of these letters they had taken off the computer, and that they were threatening to kill Janet in some of the letters. At the time, this young man was 22 years old. So that was in 97, 98. He was 22 years old. Anyway, he said he lives in the neighborhood. He said he had called Bob George and told him this, but Bob George didn't do anything. And he said he was on medications and he has no filter when he talks about it. His quote was, he said to this person, "She deserved to die. She deserved to be stabbed." And he wanted to see if he was mentally capable in terms of knowing what current affairs were. So he asked him, he said, "Well, what have you been watching the O'Brien trial?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I'm very familiar with that." And he said, "Well, because he's like me, he's on trial," because he was on trial at the time for that train offense. And he said that he thought that Eddie was innocent and the Commonwealth was guilty. And he said, "Well, do you know Janet?" And he said, "I've met her. I dated her daughter, Carrie." Yeah, so he did know Carrie Ann in 1990. And he said that Carrie Ann used to come to his house and that Janet had called the Somerville Police Department on them and to get her back, and that the police came and got her. She was 16 at the time and he was 18. And he said that Janet said that Carrie Ann was delinquent with her curfew. She had been, I think somebody talked about they put her on a chins. They put Carrie Ann on a chins, so she must have had a curfew, and she was beyond her curfew. So he asked him who he thought had killed Janet, and he said he didn't know. And then he said, "Well, who had the motive?" And his response was, "Well, maybe her ex-husband, I guess, but that would only be a guess. Carrie is upset with me. We broke," and so this is 97. We broke up. Actually, it's right after the trial. Eddie's trial ended, 10/30/97. Carrie is upset with me. We broke up from fighting about 3 weeks ago. She washed her hands of me. He hadn't the yet, but he then he saw the letters, and he said to him, what do you have all these why are you keeping, what are all these letters about? And he said, let me see. He said, where's my notes? Hang on.
That's all right.
Janet wouldn't let me date her daughter. She needed to die. She needed to be stabbed.
Sheesh.
He lives in the neighborhood. He lives about 3 blocks from the Downing residence. He obviously knows where it was. And I'm trying to see if there's any other information. He then sent a letter to this person and said that with some of these letters in it, which is why he had them in his file, and he said, "Keep this in my memory." So he wrote the letters to keep these in my memory so I can confess my sins if I ever go to confession. Now he's got he's diagnosed as schizophrenic. The person who called me said he had 12 to 24 of these letters in his file. I asked him if he could get his file to me, and he said, sure, he'd get back to me. And because now it's 2016 and the file was from 1997. And then when he called me back, he said that he could not do that because it was attorney-client privileged information, and so he couldn't release it. And I understood that, but he said, I don't know why nobody ever investigated this guy. I said, because how are we going to get any information if you have all the information and we can't get it? You know, that's why.
Yeah.
And he said, you just told me this, I'll be happy to do it, but I got to have the file. And he could not give up the file, and he would not.
He won't give up. He won't give up the lettuce.
No.
Even to this day.
It's part of a legal file that he says.
You want to give me his number? I'll get him.
No, so why is that? Why can't he give them up now? All these years. No, when's the last time you spoke to him? This was you said 2016.
I spoke to him in 2016.
It's been 10 years now. You think he would have a change of heart, or is this something that you can't have a change of heart?
You can't have a change of heart. They're either privileged or not. The privilege, even if you die, the privilege stays. But I mean, I think there's some exceptions to it, you know. But I couldn't advise him of that, and so he wasn't a lawyer himself. He got some legal advice, and they told him that he could not do that. He could not release it.
So this lawyer is sitting on these letters right now that came from a computer from this kid that wrote over 100 letters, some before she died and some after she died,
threatening to kill her. And he said he had sent some of them, some of the letters, and he had not sent others of the letters. So
what do you mean? He sent some of them to Janet. Well, then there you go. Janet was worried about something was going to happen to it. All coincides. But obviously he didn't put his name on it. I don't know if he
signed them or, you know, they were just.
Nah, he didn't sign them. This makes sense. This makes hella sense because you got to understand, right? I already said that Carrie Ann called Carol, right? Now, I don't know where. Am I breaking up on you?
No, I think I am. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. That's all right. That's all right. We'll work through it. We'll work through the turbulence, Margo. We're pretty good at this.
Anyway,
go ahead. Go ahead. Speak your piece. Go ahead. Margo's breaking up on us, people.
He's now 51 years old.
He's 51.
Yeah. And he still lives at the same address.
Now, how far is this place from 71 Boston Street?
3 blocks.
3 blocks. You go straight down. You go straight down Boston Street, cross over 28, and it's right there. 2 blocks down Boston Street. Or you can go straight down Hamlet Street, which is what I think happened, and cross over 28, and it's right there. It's right near where your DYS facility was, on the other side of 28.
Oh, Cross Street.
Yeah, but this is Austin Street.
Oh, what do you know about Cross Street there, Margo? You went to go visit a couple of clients there?
Well, yeah, I know a little bit about DYS.
Just a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, so wow. Now when you heard this,
and
what was your state?
Well, the first time I thought about it again, well, I obviously let Eddie's lawyers know along the way as he got different lawyers for the appeal, and some of them, well, they just the end result was that they couldn't use the information because they were unable to corroborate any of this guy was credible, but since they couldn't get access to the letters, they had no way to corroborate it. We did send investigators. We sent our own investigators down there, but his mother, every time we sent an investigator down, his mother said he was back in the hospital. He spent a lot of time in the hospital, mental hospitals, as I understand.
So he wrote letters. He wrote letters after she passed.
Yeah.
How big is this guy? Do you know the size of him? Like his height, by any chance?
5'11". He guessed was 5. He guessed he was about 5'11". He's a big guy. I looked him up on Facebook.
And he's still getting in trouble too.
Apparently, that's what Jay found out today. The source told me that he had an alcohol problem at age 16, that he had a job at the Burlington Mall he's been fired from every job he's had because of his behavior. He has a severe anger problem, and
he had a job at the job at the Burlington Mall because he was in work release at Bill Ricker House of Correction. That's the only reason why he had a job there. That's a fact.
I don't know if he's done jail time. He gets
he
sent to mental health hospitals.
No, he went to jail somewhere. Once he gets a felony, regardless, if he pleads out to a felony, Margo, once you plead out to a felony.
I don't know what. I have no idea what happened to these.
I'm pretty sure, but I'm hold on a second.
Assaulting a police officer isn't a good crime, so.
But hold on. Anything after 06 he got arrested with, if he got arrested after 06 for a felony, Margo, you know this. They're gonna send a summons to your house that you got to go meet up with the state police, and they're gonna swab you. They take your DNA. That happened to me.
Right.
They came and swabbed me up.
October 20.
Let me just. He said that he's been fired from every job he's ever had, and he has a severe anger problem. He's very aggressive. He has spent time at the Family Crisis Center, Cambridge Mental Health, Boston Mental Health, the Leahy Clinic, and Somerville Mental Health. So that's the lead I got, and I really didn't get anywhere.
Margo, you know where he's gonna spend time now? He's gonna spend time on the JFK live stream every fucking night for the next 1,000 episodes.
Well, I think that I trust Jason that Jason will find him and we'll see what's going on. But
I'll make a visit to 6 Austin Street in Somerville, Mass.
Oh,
okay.
Well,
yeah,
anyway,
I know.
God damn.
Why don't you guys ask me whatever it is that you need to ask me? That was all that I said to Jay, and this thing sort of took off after that.
Yeah, let me pass it to Kevy Kev, because Kevy Kev is anxious over there. Look at him. He's in his note. He's in his notes over there.
Oh,
Go ahead,
and
Kevy.
also I wanted to say for the record that there were 3 male sources of DNA found in the house. One was a bloody fingerprint in the washroom where the sink was running. That was not Ed's DNA. That was another male. And there was the one under her fingernails. And then there was a male DNA. They did test some of those blood droppings down toward the cabin. There was another DNA in that one. So that's all I know.
Can you run that one more time? Can you say that one more time, please? Because I might have to clip that. Go ahead. Say that one more time.
Okay, I've got that written down here somewhere so I can say it.
Do me a favor, somebody. Somebody clip this. Go ahead.
All right. There were fingerprints in the half bath, which was where the sink was running. They were in blood, and they were not Eddie's. They got a full palm print in blood in the dining room, and that was not Eddie's. In total, there were 3 unidentified male DNA profiles that have not been identified. So,
God damn, Margo. What is going on with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts? What is this shit? Is this serious? This is scary, man. This is scary.
I mean, this man obviously was known to the Somerville police. He was known to the Somerville police long before anything happened to Janet. And he also knew that there was a connection because Janet had called the police to get Carrie Ann out of there. So
And slap him in the face.
Janet smacked him in the face, is what I understood.
Smacked this guy in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Gina confirmed that tonight too.
Oh, Gina knows the guy.
He knew of him, but she didn't know him.
But
she did say that. She did say that the police had to go to his house. That there was a few things.
Well, you know who knows him? Adi knows him.
For sure.
I don't know.
Was
He
living
could.
there. No,
he could because
he was out there.
Didn't you tell me? Didn't you tell me that Carrie Ann and
that's when I first thought about it, is when they talked about when Artie said that Carrie Ann was the one who made the call, and I thought, could Carrie Ann have been there? You know, is that what? Because there's always a tell in what Artie says. I mean,
Yeah, you said was that
may not be true. Whatever he's saying may not be true, but there's always a tell. There's always some
a tell.
truth in it. You know, some tell.
That's
that because he can't keep it all in, and so I thought
it's like he kind of like told on himself. And was that? Let me ask you this, Margo, was that when he was talking to us? But that was in the chat, right? And you jumped in and said Carrie Ann wasn't even living there, right?
Right. That's right. But my understanding after I said that is Gina said that Janet used to babysit for that baby, so that Carrie Ann wasn't living there. She was living at a home for unwed mothers with the baby. But after 1990, I mean, she was out of the house. They after that Chin's at 16, she was gone. And my understanding too from Gina is that she was threatening Paul with the same situation. That if Paul didn't get his behavior in line, she was going to send him to DSS too, and put him in foster care, and she called it put him up for adoption. But
Carrie, one more.
She went into foster care with the Chins.
Let me ask you this: if you can answer it, was Eddie familiar with this character?
No, Eddie didn't know him.
And didn't you say Carrie Ann and that Martin bought drugs off of Artie?
I know that Carrie Ann did, or that's the rumor. And if they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and they obviously were using together.
Got a little bit of turbulence, people. Just bear with us. Put your seatbelt on.
God damn.
Am I wonky again?
Yeah, you're lagging a little bit. Don't worry. Yeah. It's all right.
All right.
We're working through it. Don't worry about it.
So I'm assuming that Carrie Ann introduced him to Artie, at some point. I don't know that for a fact. This is the reason why we couldn't use this in the appeal. Right. I couldn't get any of this stuff really, hard proof of any of this stuff,
So why would you think this lawyer, right? This guy,
I understand.
Well, the attorney-client they're saying it's privileged, right? Goddamn, we just hit a rare turbo. Goddamn, Kev, put on autopilot.
I don't know what's the matter.
That's
the guy
okay.
Worked for a lawyer.
He worked. Wait a minute. So the person who
told you this worked at a law office. He was not the lawyer.
Oh, so but who has the stuff that we need? Who has it? Is it the lawyer or is it the guy?
The lawyer. But even when I talked to him in 2016, the lawyer was dead then.
Oh, the lawyer's dead.
But the lawyer has died long before 2016, but he believed that the file still existed and he could put his hands on it. But then he was told not to pursue it because it was privileged, even though the lawyer was dead.
Wait a minute. So the person's not a lawyer, but he worked for this lawyer. He worked close to the lawyer.
He worked for the lawyer, and the file was the lawyer's file, obviously, but he was the person that had gotten the information.
Oh, okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So he could get his hands on it. So why does he care if it's privileged though? Technically, he don't have no oath, right? He didn't take the oath like you did, like what lawyers take, right?
No, but if he's working under a lawyer, it's privileged.
Yeah, but the lawyer's no longer here.
Well, but the privilege doesn't die.
Yeah, privilege doesn't die.
I can tell you that there are ways to get around that, but there are many cases that uphold the privilege, even though the lawyer has died, or the client has died. sometimes that happens. The privilege doesn't die with the person. So anyway,
And this guy's 100%. This guy that you talked to is 100% on point. He's
absolutely
legit.
I checked out his credibility. He was 100% stand up, credible, highly recommended person. So I didn't have any issue with his reason for calling, and I think he really wanted to help, and he got scared that he would get into some legal trouble.
So he called you in 2016 after the book came out. He heard about your book.
He read the book, and then that's when he called me. But he said he had called Bob George before the trial.
Wow.
And Bob George.
So Bobby knows about this, huh? Good old Bobby George.
That's what this person told me.
Wow. Oh, George dropped the ball again.
That would seem so. But I wanted to say a second thing that was a real head turner for me. In 2001, ML's brother committed suicide. Guess what date? July 23rd, 2001.
Oh, God. Hold on a minute.
On the anniversary.
Yeah, hold on.
The anniversary.
Everybody needs
Janet's anniversary.
We got to go up to 39,000. There was turbulence in the chat. God damn.
God damn.
Do me a favor, text Margo up. She she got booted, but her device is not connected right. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Yeah, just text her and let her know to come back in.
All right, hold on.
God damn, man. We're dealing with some real crazy shit.
This is some crazy shit, man. I know I jumped in a couple minutes late, man, but
yeah,
this is some crazy shit. I mean, I'd like to ask Margo, man, like what do we got to do to run the DNA? Let's ask her about this DNA. Let's ask her if it's still, on file somewhere. Because you just made a good point, man. Anything after a certain year, what year did you say they were going to test this?
06.
So yeah, this guy.
I'm pretty sure it was 06.
This guy in October 24th, 2023, he had assault and battery on a police officer. All right, on Hampshire Street.
Yeah.
Hampshire Street. Police responded to a report of someone yelling at passing traffic and kicking cars. Officer says the person swung and hit the officer in the arm and then kicked another officer while officers were trying to talk to that person. His name was Martin Landry, 52 of Somerville. He was charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, 2 counts of assault and battery on a police officer, and 1 count of threats to commit a crime. So, I mean, he definitely got swabbed up.
Well, someone just asked a good question. Norman Corey. Why, of course, Norman Corey did. Shannon, miss my boys and everyone in chat. Well, you got to think about this, too. You got to think about another woman in March of 1995 named Deanna Kremen.
Yeah.
You got to think
That's
about
right.
that. You got to think about Deanna. And did he slip through the cracks? It's very possible he could have slept through the crack, snuck through the cracks. He could have, like Margo said, every single time that he got caught or arrested, he could have got the cases thrown out because he's not in his right state of mind. And that's another issue, because now it's the presence of mind. Is he credible? But I don't know. You know I have met someone with schizophrenia. Well, I knew a couple people. I know a girl in my neighborhood back when I lived in Everett. She used to walk around and she used to be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she was a different person. I would see her 3 days later. She wouldn't say a word to me. Then there was another guy at Fuckery Donuts, the hub, the real Fuckery Donuts on Shirley Ave, where we shot the movie. I used to go to that Shirley Ave Dunkin' Donuts a lot during that movie time that I was doing that. I would, would set up like somewhat of a base camp there. You know what I'm saying? Hang out there, scout the area, and I would meet all the locals. And there was a guy in there that had, he was schizo, and he would tell me that he was part of the mafia and he did this and he did that. And then sometimes he'd be mad at me. Sometimes he would like me. He was scary.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There she is, Margo. No, it's all right, Margo.
Welcome
Don't worry
back.
about it. Sometimes you got to reboot, So
Yeah.
Before we go any further, Kevy Kev got a question. What do we do to run the DNA? How does that work? How do we get Eddie's DNA, Janet's DNA ran? Like, is there any way we could get around that? Did you come up with a creative way?
And what I think, we've got the profile, we've got the markers of these three males. We just need something to compare it to. So if we had, we have Artie's DNA.
I don't know if they have a swab of Artie. I mean, do they have a swab of Artie?
They have blood of Artie's. They did Artie's. They ran Artie's DNA. But
now, is that just in comparison of a blood type, though? I mean, is that?
No, it's a comparison of numbers, DNA markers. They're columns, 3 different columns. And, it's like 12, 16, 14, 9, whatever. And they have to be consistent across the columns in the same place. I have an example of it.
I think I do have those records. I have been skimming through them.
So they never did it with Artie. They never ran. Hold on. They never ran odd. Let's be clear on something. They never compared Artie's DNA, correct?
They didn't give us anything
that had Artie's DNA.
Hold on, I want to hear her say it.
Said that I do not share his feelings about the district attorney. But
let me run that back one more time, because you was lagging a little bit. They never shared Artie's DNA.
They never gave us anything that showed the DNA profile of Artie Ortiz or any of the other people they took DNA from. We certainly got no reports that we were told that the only person that they compared the DNA to was Eddie. They never tried to compare any of the other people to the DNA.
You don't think they ever did it?
I from what they did with the fingernails, I would believe that they ran them, and if they found out it was connected to somebody else, they deep sixed it.
They deep sixed it.
I can believe that.
You believe the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a place that you worked in for years, the court system. You believe that they would do that?
I believe in this particular case, they did that and more. That would not surprise me. Let me just tell you that. The fact that there are 3 male DNA profiles is not in any report they gave us. It's in the notes that Eddie got from his Freedom of Information request from the chemist. In there are 2 other DNAs that she never talks about. That's how we know. So, and it just, there was just so much that was, it takes 3 things for a wrongful conviction. The police have to fail, the court system has to fail, and the defense attorney has to fail. And with Eddie, you got to have a politician, running against you. I mean, he had every earmark for a false conviction.
Roadblock. Yeah, he had every roadblock.
So do you think that's the reason why? Do you think it's the reason why that this is not happening for Eddie? Like they're gonna say they did run it, but they never gave you the information on it. But they're gonna just say, "Hey, trust us, bro. We did run it, and it's not."
Oh, nobody would ever trust them. Trust me. Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, is that like
no?
gonna be there?
Marion Ryan can say, "I looked at the file and we did run it, and it didn't match." And I would say, any lawyer would say, "You need to show me the report."
What's up with this? Who's this guy? Herbert. I never seen him in here. He said, ask Margo about Riley sending ML to the state hospital to get an evaluation when he got arrested in 97. Spooky world, Herbert. Who are you, buddy?
I do know that he was sent.
I think I've seen him before.
Herbert, but how does he know that?
I don't know. He got a 30-day observation at the Family Crisis Center, Cambridge Mental Health, 30-day evaluation.
And Riley sent them? It was Riley, though?
No. Ask Margo about Riley getting sent?
Yeah, it said, no. It
Riley
said,
sending ML.
Riley,
sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if Riley had anything to do with ML.
Exactly. Well, he said it. I don't know if he knows something we don't know. That's, sometimes people jump in his chat, Margo.
Well, that's, that was my hope, that if you guys had this information, it's a lead. It may go nowhere. It may be a dead end, but it's been such a loose end for me as a lawyer.
I don't know, with 100 death letters, I think that's a prime suspect right there.
Why would he write the 100 death letters? I mean, let's be real about something for a second.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to understand. When someone has schizo, they got compulsive thinking. He could have thought he did this. In his mind, he could have thought he really did this, or he wants to be a part of it in some way, that he's getting away with it. Because if the narrative was out there back then, well, then you got to say to yourself, when did he start writing these letters, though? Because if he started threatening her before the death and then she died, that's a concern.
He said
before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Said that some of them were written before she died, and they contained death threats.
Well, that's what I mean. Like that's not coincidental. Why would you know what I mean? Like
yeah, but you got to.
Then he said he wanted to keep him to remember what he did to her.
Yeah, that's after the fact. But what I'm saying is if he was writing letters after, right? Like if you would tell me all the letters were after, I would say this could just be a guy trying to connect himself to something for whatever attention or his crazy mind. He really believes he did it. He might have had a dream that he did it. Because being a schizo, man, it's crazy. Like I said, I know a guy and he thought he was in the mafia, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was telling me all types of shit. I was a hitman, all this shit. And I'm just looking at him like, here, buddy, you want another coffee? I gotta go. But the point is, he wrote it before that, and then it materialized. Then it happened. So that's a concern. That right there needs to be investigated. Facts. And then you got to go on with Adi saying that Carrie Ann told him to come, told Carol, right? Allegedly told Carol. Could have been Carrie Ann just telling Adi. And then you got to go with the fact that Paul came walking out that house looking funny. And then you got to go with the fact that I keep saying, why did Eddie get scared of this person? Right? Because if he knew it was Adi, if he knew it was Paul, he might have said something, right? But if he didn't know who the person was, he might have been shitting his pants, and he didn't know who ML was. So that makes sense. And then how'd he get out of there so fast? He lives right around the corner. How do you get rid of the murder weapon? How do you get rid of the bloody clothing? How do these things happen if he lives right around the corner? So it makes a lot of sense. And like you said, there is a lot of truth to what Adi says when he said Carrie Ann. Once he threw Carrie Ann in the mix. Now, I don't know if you're into...
Yeah, that was brand new to me. And I'm thinking, Carrie Ann, is that his tell for this? You know?
Well, let me say that again. So in 30 years, it was the first time you heard about a cat, correct?
Right.
In 30 years, it was the first time that you heard that Paul wore high heels in Janet's dress, right?
I never heard that.
In 30 years, it was the first time you heard Carrie Ann call Carol.
I've never heard that either. Yeah, those are three things.
Damn, we working too on this channel.
And I have never heard those three things.
Wow.
So I think I went to the right people with this lead, and I'm hoping that you're going to come up with an answer.
Oh, we got to come up with an answer.
And just to reflect on this schizophrenia disorder.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew somebody very well. You know, his name was Skip, and sometimes he was Jeff, and he was the same guy, and he was scary. And I'm going to tell you right now, if someone wrote those letters, you know, as Skip, or they were in Skip's computer, but Jeff wrote them, that's a possibility. I mean, you can't black that out like he, you know, maybe he wanted to, you know, insert himself or have a connection in some way to this crime. Good damn possibility he could have done it.
Well,
And
he
they
did.
think,
He did. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Margo. No, you go ahead. This is your show.
He did say Janet deserved to die. Janet deserved to be stabbed.
Bingo. Well, see, that's the thing. The bottom line is this, right? Is that in a court of law, right? Margo, you got your black guy robe on right now, and please don't send me away on my probation right now. You got your hoodie on. Okay, listen, Your Honor.
Damn.
Can I speak, Your Honor? Please, Your Honor. It's Christmas time. Don't lock me up. Don't lock me up. But listen, yeah, you're allowed. Just please, I want to go home can I get a stay of execution until after Christmas? But anyway, the thing is, in a court of law, that's what they would say, right? If the letters was after the fact, they would use his mental health to shut it down. They would say, well, you know, mental health people, somebody would come in and say he was connected to it and he's cooked up. But the fact that he wrote letters prior to her death is a big issue.
I agree. I couldn't get anywhere with it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I believe it is. And if anybody can get to the bottom of it, it's going to be hopefully you guys. And the other thing I would say is that at the time, in 2016, when I learned this, I also remembered that Paul had a phone number in his backpack on a piece of paper. And
don't tell me it's this dude's phone number.
Well, I looked at the time. It was a landline, obviously, and I looked it up, and it was 623-9137, and at the time it geographically went to East Somerville, right by that area where this person lived. Right? So I don't know.
Hold on a minute. God damn, Margo. Everybody, this is your captain speaking. Message from the flight deck. Buckle up. Let's go. Wow.
I don't know how you get to look up numbers that were in existence 30 years ago.
Give me that number. I know how to do it.
623-9137.
All right, let me do that right now. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Go ahead. Talk to the people, Kevin.
It was probably area code 508 back then, right?
No, 617. 623 was the Somerville number. And
So it's
when I looked at it,
617, 623.
623,
Yep.
9137.
You know, it sounds like this guy, he's just, you know, he's lived a violent past.
He has, I believe that he had, this is what the guy said to me. He has a severe anger problem. He's very aggressive. So I assume that most of his offenses are going to involve some sort of assault. And I think
Erin Kennedy owned the line. Her name's Erin Kate Kennedy. She lived at 377 Highland Ave, Unit 305, Somerville, Mass. That's what I got.
Oh,
Erin
okay.
Kennedy. Well, I don't know how legit it is. She lives in Chicago now. She's 54 though. She's right around that age.
Huh?
So
don't know who she is.
Erin Kennedy, huh?
Something to look at.
Let's see who some of her acquaintances. Christine, Claire Kennedy, Alexander Kennedy, Joseph Glockback, Erin Kennedy, John Kennedy, huh? My father, John F. Kennedy. Yeah, we'll look more into that for sure. That's what that came up with. But sometimes them searches are not 100% accurate. But
right in 2016, when I did it, it could only point me to where the area. And I remember talking to Ed on the phone saying, "Do you know anybody in East Somerville? You know anybody around there? You know?" And he kept saying no. And I swear one of the names connected with this family came up, but I didn't write it down, so I can't.
Yeah, do me a favor. Send that phone number to Jay Bro. Get all that information to Jay Bro, because I'm gonna take that to my other people that can do a deeper dive into that and see what we come up with. That number might be real big. That might be.
Someone saying that number. Someone in the chat just said that number comes back to Martin Landry.
No.
Well, we don't. How do they know?
Where? That landlines are listed currently for Martin G. Landry. Get out of here. Where'd you? Wait a minute. Where the fuck did you see that? So wait a minute. If that's hold on a second. Let me take a breather.
Okay.
Amy, are you 100% sure about that, Amy? Don't be coming up here, man, telling war stories, selling wolf tickets, lying to kick it when you're already kicking it.
Or that could be Artie.
No. Amy's good people.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But I'm just saying, like, she just said that. That's a big thing.
She's working too.
Yeah, but how did she? The numbers I sent in the chat. These landlines. Let me see. Give me that number.
Oh. She sent a bunch of landlines. There, if you look it up, you can look it up now. And there's a bunch of landlines. None of them are those. 623-2618 goes to him.
I called a whole bunch of landline numbers today. I called like 12 numbers for that Landry guy today, and I only got
that number again.
one.
Say that number again. 623.
Which one do you want?
Oh, 9137, right?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's a number of 617 numbers that come up under that family name and for that address. So anyway, any other questions for me? That's it. I got the tip. I gave you guys the tip, and hopefully you'll be able to make more of it than I was able to do, or get the lawyers or our private investigators to do.
Yeah,
I think they already found a recent arrest for the person.
Yeah, go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just, I mean, you just think about, this guy. I mean, he, if I'm just trying to think, if Carrie Ann was out of the house in 1990, was she coming back? Was she popping in the house? Was she stopping by, or was she just not living there?
I think Gina would tell you, but I can't be 100% certain, that the cops were called there all the time because Carrie Ann assaulted her mother all the time. There was always a physical fight. And it seems like that Paul assaulted her, and it seems like that Ryan also assaulted her.
Didn't you say something like Big Ed? Didn't you say something that Big Ed went over there to talk to this dude, ML, with Janet?
He went with Janet to a number of places to look for Carrie Ann and to find Carrie Ann when she would be running away. That's the reason they got the chins on her. And it may have been, it wasn't the night that Janet slapped her and also had the police remove her.
Right.
But
so let's
my thing was is that, you know, if he lived in the neighborhood, I mean, if he was seen walking by there, it just wouldn't look out of place. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
right.
You got to take into them thoughts, like, you know, if he was in that house, or say they were, you know, they weren't buying drugs, but they were on drugs and they were trying to get more money for drugs, and they confronted Janet, you know. And, you know, I mean, I say to myself, that 15 minutes, I mean, if they were there and they confronted Janet, they wanted money, something got out of control. Paul went back there to you know, stop in for 15 minutes. He leaves. He's in shock because he's.
Let me just stop you right there. Let's not hold Margo, because Margo wants a beauty sleep. That's why she looks so beautiful. You got a question for her? And I don't mean to. Let's just ask her.
Yeah, because then you guys can take all this information and run with it.
Yeah. So the only question that I have, how do we go about, you said, because we broke up a little bit earlier, how do we go about matching these DNA profiles without doing Rule 30s and things like that? Is there any way to do that legally?
We have, I think Eddie, don't quote me on this, but Eddie has the notes, so he has the profiles. So we would need the person you want to compare it to. We would need their profile, and I think Eddie could compare them.
Well, Eddie,
Eddie's DNA is in the ancestry.
Oh, so Eddie could compare them himself. You could just look at it by the numbers, you said.
Okay, the profiles are unidentified. So we could say, oh, yeah, that matches this profile that's called an unidentified profile, and the evidence was found in the bathroom, in the half bath, or on the sidewalk.
So let me rephrase that question, Your Honor. If we had Adi's profile and we sent it to Eddie, he could compare it.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
There you go. All right. I think that you want to ask any question, Kev, because I know you're passionate.
No, I'm good.
Question?
No, I'm good. I just, you know,
whether or not J.F.K., whether or not he would be able to use that in a court of law is another matter, but because it depends on how you get his DNA profile and the chain of custody.
What if he volunteered?
If you happen to be able to get, a coffee cup that he used, and we paid for DNA testing on it, we could compare the two, and then we could go from there.
Oh,
we might not be able to use that particular.
Your Honor, you need to strike that, Your Honor. You need to strike that. God damn.
Hey, Adi. Adi, you want to meet for coffee?
Hey, Adi, you better watch out with them coffee cups, boy. Jay Brilliant's gonna be jumping off the roof of Dunkin' Donuts.
Adi, you want a cigarette?
Maybe I'll show up at his little clubhouse in Lawrence and wait till he throws out his coffee cup or something. Pick it up.
Well, look, her internet's a little lagging. Listen, Margo, we appreciate you coming on here again. We appreciate your time. We love having you. Appreciate you in the chat. You're so great at what you do. You're so passionate. And honestly, we wouldn't be able to do this even if it wasn't for your book and for your work. There would be no JFK channel. So all we're doing is trying to honor your hard work and keep the momentum on it. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to let it go on deaf ears. That's all.
I appreciate very much you're highlighting this case, because God knows I've been trying to do it for 10 years. So you're getting a lot of help now, and it really feels good. So thanks.
That's so awesome. Hey, we're all family now. Merry Christmas, Margo. Okay, we'll see you
Yes,
soon.
yes.
Merry Christmas to you too. See you
Merry
later.
Christmas.
Peace,
Bye,
Margo.
Jen. Bye, Kate.
Thank you. Nice, beautiful guest. Beautiful guest. Kev, I wasn't trying to cut you off. Her internet was
No,
lagging,
no,
and you
man.
know
No, I'm glad that she
she
was
said
up there
enough. You know,
speaking on.
but you could say whatever you want now. Go ahead, man. Break down
No,
whatever you want
I'm
to break
glad
down.
that she was up there speaking on it, man. I just, I it just blows my mind to it does make a little sense. I mean, it does make a little sense with this because, you got to think about something, man. I mean, some of the injuries to Janet, they tell a story, man, as well. And there's just some odd things that happened in that house, pitches on the ground, face down. I mean, we can't forget about that shit,
This is all based on like what you're saying, like the type of disorder he had. This kind of like it lines right up with that, right?
It does. It does. I
Like
mean,
like him hiding shit, him having things, like you know what I mean? Like okay, so Norman Corey is hell bent on Adi, right? And you got to be hell bent on Adi. But what happened that night? Did Adi and Carrie Ann have something going on? Does Carrie Ann got something on Adi? And it's a trickle effect where it's like, if you tell on me, I'll tell on you. Was Janet the one that was trying to hold the household together? She got Paul dressing up in dresses with two older men as service merchandise. She got fucking Carrie Ann running amok, just had a baby, right? And then she got her sister living in the house with this dude who's selling weed to all the kids in the neighborhood. And then all three of them get together. Paul, Carrie Ann, four, this dude ML, and they do one of them snaps, and all of them are like, yo, she kind of deserved it because she was a bitch. God rest in peace, Janet Downing. Like that's what it seems like. It seems like they're trying to put, if that is the case, disclaimer, if that is the case, speculation, it could be like they're all trying to justify what happened to Janet, because all we keep hearing is Janet went to go find Carrie Ann. Janet Janet didn't want Paul coming into the house with these guys and wearing dresses and heels and being flamboyant. He was only a young boy messing with 25-year-olds as service merchandise. She didn't want this dude in the house slanging the bud. And then she got this other dude walking around, ML, who, let's face it, this dude was, he was born like that. Unfortunately, he got a mental health illness. So he was a firecracker, period. And then on top of that, Carrie Ann was a firecracker. So,
and to put into some context, like, if you got somebody that has a mental disorder like that and they're on medication, if they're dabbling and they're in that, they're on that bender, man, for, a couple days doing drugs, they're not on their medication. And that's when the bad shit happens. They're running for the drugs. Right. They're running for either, let's take it back. 1995. I mean, that was a crack era, man. I don't want to downplay nobody, but like, you get whacked out. You're doing anything for the next fucking rock.
And that was the crack era. You're absolutely right. That's a great point. That was the crack era. And that's the thing, where they smoke a crack. And I hate to say it. Listen, this is probably, I don't want to talk bad about the dead, right? I do not want to talk bad about the dead. But do we know that Janet might have been dabbling on the side of drugs? I don't know. Listen, disclaimer, I am not saying that's the case, but I'm saying if there was a side of that, if you take a hit of crack back then, you were hooked. I grew up in the crack era, as long as, as well as Kevy Kev, Jay Brill, and a lot of people in the chat, and people you would have never thought in a million years was hitting the pipe. You know what I'm saying? It was no different than people in their medicine cabinets right now taking Adderall for breakfast. It's no different. So it's not no judgment just because I say crack. You know what I mean? It's no different than your Adderalls if you're doing too many of them. If you're drinking 19 cups of coffee, it's the same shit. Addiction is addiction. So that's not a knock. We're just saying, was there something else going on? You just never know.
And like when we say the word crack, let's make it clear. Crack cocaine. It was just another different form of doing cocaine. You know what I'm saying? But it's, you know, it was a loopy fucking drug, man.
Yeah, loopy for sure, and especially if he has them issues, and he was envisioning it. Like, is this something this dude envisioned? You know what I'm saying? And made it happen.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. If listen, I'm dead serious, man. I was a rep payee for a dude, man. He was a friend of my father's friend's son.
So right here, I'm sorry, right here,
10 years,
someone,
yeah. 10 years
Geraldine
old. Good.
says Janet hated drugs. How do you know that, Geraldine? You know Janet? If you know Janet, tell us more. Tell us what you know about Janet.
I think that might be Trisha's sister.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
that last name sounds familiar.
Go ahead, Kevy Kev. Kevy Kev's getting aggravated over there because I keep cutting him off.
No, not at all, man. I'm fucking rolling with the flow, bro. It's just, you know, I helped somebody out. It was a fucking generational thing. You know, my father passed. When my father's friend passed, he helped his kid, you know, get a place to stay, make sure that he was doing okay. And then when my father passed, it seemed like I was helping him out. And you know, I mean, some days he was okay and some days he wasn't, man. You know, that schizophrenia shit, man. He wasn't on his meds, man. He was Jeff. I mean, I tried talking to him when he was in those situations, and you know, there was no
I got a number. I got a number for Martin. We're gonna call it. All right, here we go.
Any key to continue. Again, press any key to continue. Goodbye.
All right, goodbye. Nice talking to you. Well, here goes that. Maybe we'll get a call back. You guys want to call Adi up? You all caught up, Adi?
Adi, pick up, Adi.
I texted Adi on my phone today. He didn't know my number and he blocked me on Messenger. So.
Oh, did he?
I asked him if he knew that dude.
And he blocked.
He said, "Who the fuck is this? I don't know no Marty Landry."
Yeah,
I said, "Are you sure? Because I heard you sold drugs to him in Carrie Ann." And he said, "Hold on, let me check real quick."
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 802490997. Please enter your password, then press pound. Please enter your password, then press pound.
Adi, you all caught up?
He said, "Do me a favor, fuck off. You guys are nothing but a fuck."
What happened,
I didn't
Jay?
hear you. You're breaking up, Jay. Your internet
Adi?
went fucking.
Adi said, "Do me a favor, fuck."
Oh, Jesus, man. God damn, Jay.
He
What
told
did
us
Adi
to fuck
say?
off. He said to fuck off because we're nothing but a joke.
Oh, that's funny. The feeling's mutual, Adi. The feeling is mutual. Wow. Y'all caught up, Adi?
Adi. Adi, what'd you tell Jay?
Is there a toxology report, Janet? I don't know. I don't want to.
I
I
haven't
don't want
seen
to
one.
suggest. I don't want to suggest that there was anything like that, but I'm just saying, like in them times, you just never know what people were doing. But I would assume that she probably didn't like drugs because it made sense that she always was trying to get her kids out the street. Yeah, man. I mean, so basically,
It's a plot twist.
basically, it's a plot twist, but basically, there's a private investigator out there. Basically, he worked with the lawyer, right? We can only assume that he's a private investigator. The lawyer's dead, and he's going with this loyalty of privilege. Do we got this guy's name? The private investigator,
Martin
Brian?
Hazel. Oh no,
No, no,
I'll
no,
I'll see if I can find out.
no. She won't give it up, right? You're breaking up, bro.
Gina, it says Gina Mahoney's in the chat. Can we ask her?
I'm gonna log
Gina.
out and I'm gonna log back on. Hold on.
All right.
Gina, if you're out there, did you ever remember a guy named Martin Landry?
Gina, what's your phone number? Dude, we got Gina's phone number. You want to get on? We want to talk to you real quick. I forget Gina's phone number. Well, someone sent Gina the link. She should be able to log on. I'm going to visit Adi. Margo wasn't burn her source. Margo won't burn her source. Well, I mean, you might have to if you want us to confront this dude. It's not about burning the source. Like if this is the difference between finding the killer of Janet Downing or figuring out who this guy is or having, we know who Martin is. Okay. We go talk to him, but I mean, it could be dangerous for people. We don't know what this type of time this dude's on. You know what I mean?
And we kind of discussed this earlier today too, man. Let's talk about the computer situation. In 1995, what was running out there? Norman Corey, you out there in the chat? What was running? Was it DOS? Was it one
but
of
we
those?
don't know. We don't know if it was a computer. It could have been a typewriter. It could have been something else.
But what
I'm saying?
What I'm saying is that they're saying that Boy George fucking knew about this shit before the trial. So if we're talking 1995, 97, and they, had seized this guy's computer for some reason, and came across that. I mean, there was other violent crimes in that area within a 5-6 year span.
Gina, if you want to call in, give us a call. Gina, that's the number if you want to call. Let's talk. Let's see what she knows about Martin. I don't think it was a computer for some reason. I think this dude just had letters or something. Maybe I think that might be maybe it was,
Or what?
But
maybe they scanned him in 97 or something and put him on a file. Is that what we're thinking? And he's got this lawyer or this,
yeah, but he doesn't say he has them. He says he can still get his hands on them. And you know what I mean? We got to know for a fact. Listen, if this guy wants to do the right fucking thing, dude, fuck the privilege, right? Like, forget all the privilege. 30 years passed. I'm lagging like a motherfucker. My back. 30 years passed, man. What's going on? I don't want to hear that shit. Privilege this, privilege that. There ain't no privilege for someone who killed somebody, man. What privilege is that? The dude's dead, man. Let him die with the privilege. Oh, we gotta whatever, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. He's got.
Gina Mahoney.
What up, Gina?
Yeah.
You're here, girl. How you doing?
Oh, not bad at all. How are you doing?
We're doing great, Gina. So glad to hear
Yeah,
you.
I was watching. You guys are pretty good. But you know what? No, I never knew about those letters. And, I mean, this has been an eye-opener. Invisible cats and you know, all these crazy things Artie has come up with. And Carrie Ann, Colin Carroll. None of us ever heard that.
Let
He
me.
stood right in front of my face and told me when I asked him point blank, "How did you find out? How did you get here so fast?" My dispatcher called me on the radio and told me my sister-in-law got murdered. Those were his words.
Y'all caught up, Artie?
And
Artie.
Janet had all these invisible cats he had to take care of. Where the hell did she have these cats?
So she had no cats, Gina, whatsoever.
No. Oh, she had Joshua. That's all. I had the house full of critters. We had the dog, we had cats, we had a rabbit, we had guinea pigs. It was like the petting zoo over here.
So that
Janet
day,
had a dog.
so that day when she was out there on your porch, hanging out, did your cats come out and jump on top of her at any time? Do you remember?
No. They were too lazy.
They were too lazy.
Yeah, they were just lazy cats. They just lay around.
So what do you know
They did
about this
nothing
guy?
but eat, shit, and sleep.
Eat shit and sleep, Gina. So what do you know about this guy Martin? You know him from the neighborhood?
I wouldn't have when Jay called and asked me that, the name rang a bell and I couldn't figure out where, when, why, or how. But after he said Kerry's boyfriend, then I got a picture in my head and I remembered who he was. I never had any conversations with him. I knew who he was. You know, he would come with Kerry sometimes. It was not pleasant. There was always a problem when he did come with Kerry. And when she was younger, the Janet would have to go and get her before she had her put out of the house altogether. Janet would have, like, Ed go with her or send the cops to go get Gary because she was late for her curfew and everything after she filed that thing, whatever they do for kids, the
Chins petition.
called Chins.
Yes.
After Janet filed that, you know, she'd send the cops to go get Kerry. But the night Janet was murdered, Kerry wasn't around here. I mean, she wasn't. She wasn't there. She wasn't calling Carol to tell her anything.
Right. So when you heard about this guy that possibly wrote these letters or whatever, did she ever mention that when she talked to you?
No, she didn't mention anything at all about letters, which is surprising now, now that I know about them, because that day she was talking about all the crazy things, that were happening in the house and what frightened her. And because she was frightened because it was a scary thing to be happening, but also Janet had this horrible fear about losing her mind and going crazy, that people would think she was crazy. So she wouldn't talk to people about it or wouldn't talk to anybody about it. She just kept it in. And I think she had herself convinced, if I say anything, people are going to think I'm crazy. She was horrified by that thought.
That's understandable. Yeah, I mean, I could see that
Yeah,
happening.
because because she thought Paul used to tell her she was crazy. And he would drive her, he would drive that point home to her all the time. You're nuts, you're nuts, you're nuts. And I think she was afraid that people would believe that. So
Well,
that she kept so much to herself,
That was
So
that
much
was
inside.
mentioned in the notes. Yeah.
But I have no idea how'd you find out whether or not somebody had that phone number 30 years ago?
Well, Margo said it. Let me say this. Adi admitted that that the happenings that the stuff that she thought she was going crazy about, the
Yeah.
kitty litter in the basement. He said he was living there at the time when that happened.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Well,
She
no,
wouldn't have.
well, he said. Well, I don't know if he
She
said he
wouldn't
was.
have brought anything up.
Well, he said that
She wouldn't have brought anything up that he was living when he was living there. This was all happening when he wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
That was my take on what she was telling me.
Right.
Like after she threw him out, this stuff
But
started
Adi
really
also
happening.
said there were invisible cats living there too. So.
My thing is this though. He corroborated that story. He said that he remembers that happening and that happened.
Well, it did happen, but maybe he wasn't supposed to be there, but was.
Right.
Because that was an event that happened constantly.
So what was that conversation with like that morning?
Like I said, it started out she was worried about her job. So the first couple of hours, that's what we were talking about.
Right.
Was her job, because she said they wouldn't let her. They were demolishing her department that was being made redundant, and they told her she could bid on another job within the company, but yet they wouldn't hire her for anything that she bid on.
Right.
And she said, I feel like they're trying to get rid of me. And she said, they gave me a bad review. And I said, well, do you have other reviews where you got praised? And she said, yeah. I said, go get me those. So she did. She got me those. And she was right. They were trying to get rid of her. Because the things in her earlier reviews that they gave her praise for, that they said were strengths and, and were good, they were now saying they weren't strengths, they were detrimental, and they weren't going to give her another job in the company. And I said, you got a grievance here. I said that they contradicted themselves on your reviews. I said they tell you this is a strength in one breath, and in the other breath they tell you it's not. And she said, well, how do I do that? And I said, well, I'll write it up for you, and you can take it into work. And she said, oh, all right. Because she said, I don't know how to write, to make a complaint like that. And I said, it's a grievance. You got a grievance that they're not treating you fairly. I said, and you take it to HR. So she said, all right. I said, I'll look this over, and I said, and I'll write it up for you. And that's what I did.
Nice.
But I didn't give it to her because we were going to do that in the morning.
So
and
let
the
me ask you
morning
this.
Never came.
The morning never came.
Not
Unreal.
for Janet.
Not for Janet.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. Let me just say this. Where was that cab parked? Was it at the stop sign like he claims it was?
The night of her murder?
He said it was at the stop sign, right at the corner of Hamlet at the stop sign.
The tail end of it was, yeah.
So he was
Its
at the
ass
stop.
end was. It was parked the wrong way.
So he was at the stop sign.
Yep. I saw the clip of the video. I think Kev made the video, and where when he was saying about the cab parked, he was too far down the hill in the video. Because he was up at the top.
So he was right at the top at the stop sign.
Yep, the trunk of his car was at the stop sign.
So why would there be blood trails over there if Eddie ran out the back of the house?
As far as I know, Eddie came down through the trees and right out the back.
That's what I'm saying. So
Onto
how was there?
Down exactly where Kev was showing, further down the hill. where he was showing the beginning of the wall.
100% the cab was parked face down.
Yep.
So let me ask you this: when the ambulances showed up and everything, was that street blocked off, Boston Street? Could you get up that street?
You couldn't have got on to Hamlet Street from Boston Street at all.
Well, either way, he was parked the wrong way, though.
Yeah, and if he like he said he came up the hill.
He would have said he came up to be parked that way. He would have came up Boston Street, correct?
Yeah, he would have had, unless he did a U-turn in a narrow street or a 3-point turn or whatever to turn and make a big product out of turning himself around.
So there was no way he was getting up Boston Street that day when the cops showed up.
No, not when everything was there. The fire truck was there. That was blocking Boston Street. The fire truck, and the cops were there was cop cars everywhere.
Everywhere.
They looked like Jimmy's on an ice cream cone.
That's
how many cop cars were here.
God damn. Sprinkles.
So there was no way. So he claims that he said, he said on this show that he could have backed up and went down Hamlet Street. He was saying that he was parked the right way, not the wrong way, and that he could have easily backed up, did a 3-point turn, and went down Hamlet and then took off. He said that, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that he said that. I know he said he was parked that he wasn't parked the wrong way.
But why was there blood drops allegedly in back of the cab if he was at the stop sign? What he called didn't run up towards the stop sign. He ran the other way, down Hamlet. He didn't run up towards Boston.
That's right.
Yeah, Eddie didn't run up the street. He ran down.
He already did.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Eddie didn't run by the cab.
So he said there was blood. There's blood 30 feet. So if he was parked at that stop sign, right? What was the blood? Jay Brilliant, how many feet behind the cab the blood drops?
He said 30 feet, but I heard it was like 15 to 20.
Jay just went off.
So if it was 15 to 20 feet behind the cab and he was at the stop sign, it would be 15 to 20 feet. But he said behind his cab. So if his ass ends pointed towards Boston, then the blood trail would have been on Boston Street, right?
Yeah, but he also said that he was pointing up, so his behind was.
If Artie came out of the house, the front door, or even the back door, to get to his cab, he would have crossed the lawn. He wouldn't have come down through the trees.
Right. No, but my thing is this. Hold on. I'm trying to talk to. Just give me 1 second, Gina. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to my co-host there.
Oh, all right.
No, it's okay, Gina. You could chime in anytime you want. Feel free. No, I'm just trying to get this fact straight. This is a question, Brilliant.
And I'm no good at gauging feet.
Yeah, me neither. That's not my strong suit. That's why I'm relying on them. Let me go to my boy Kevy Kev, man. He can put up a house. So Kevy, if it's 30 feet and he's parked at the stop sign and his ass ends parked towards Boston Street, 30 feet from his ass popped out at the stop sign, where's the blood? Would it be on Boston Street?
Would have been in the middle of Boston Street.
All right, but hold on, because I already said he faced up the hill. So if he was,
no, he didn't say he faced.
He said he was parked right.
Yeah.
He never said he was face down. He said he was face up the hill.
Right. Yeah.
So what would be behind his car if he's talking about his car facing up the hill? It would be actually in the front of his car because the car was facing downhill.
So you're saying instead of 30 feet, it would have been 30 feet towards the back. So if he had it wrong and he was just saying it was 30 feet, but the police said it was 30 feet in back of the car. No, he's not saying it. The police are saying it too. The police are saying that the blood was 30 feet.
They said the police found the blood stains, Artie said, behind the car. I never seen a report saying that the police said it was behind the car. And if Artie's saying his car was pointed up the hill, then he's going to be saying it's behind the car. So in all actuality, his behind the car was in front of the car, just like the inverted video in the Karen Reed trial.
I get it, but the cops did say they did follow the blood trail, and they did say it was behind the cab.
They said the blood. They said the blood trail went across.
Yeah, but they also said the car was parked the right way, and it wasn't.
Well, what did the cops say? The cops said what? Do you remember what the cops said?
The cops said that the blood trail went across Hamlet Street.
Yeah.
So we're talking about now let's just say this. I mean, if Adi's saying if he was parked on the wrong way. Now that's what I remember. Multiple people that have been up here has said that Adi's car was parked the wrong way. So that means that he was facing down Hamlet on the left-hand side of it from the top of the hill. That's the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah, he was parked right in front of the house at the stop sign.
Now, if they're saying that the blood trail was going down Hamlet,
it's beside the house,
15 feet from the back of Adi's car.
It would have been the front of his car.
But hold on. If they're saying from the back of Adi's car it was 30 feet, Adi's car is 15 feet. So add another 15 feet on the front of his car. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's your 30 feet.
And there's your 30 feet.
But the point is, the blood the cops are saying was on Hamlet.
Right.
It was on Hamlet. That's right.
And if it was behind his car, it would have been on Boston.
Yeah, so which means is the blood was found in front of his car.
Exactly.
Not in back of his car.
Now you're picking up what I'm putting down.
No, I've been picking up what you're putting down, Jay Bro. You didn't know that you didn't know I'm a genius?
Come on, kid. I know you're a genius.
So you remember 100% it was at the stop sign, parked the wrong way, ass facing out at the stop sign.
Yep.
Do you don't know what type of cab it was? Do you know? Did it look like a police car? The cab?
It
If you were
looked
gonna
like
guess?
it was just a white car. I wouldn't know one car from the other.
Was it square or round, though?
Was it a
I
station
can
wagon?
identify a Volkswagen Bug and a Corvette. That's
Oh,
it.
nice. Yeah.
God damn.
Nice. So she's telling you all these things that happened, and she said there was kitty litter down in the basement, right, on a beam.
Yeah.
And what did she say? Like, what happened?
She just passed over. She said there was kitty litter down the cellar on the beam, and spread around. That was all she said about the kitty litter. She didn't go into any more detail on that. She was more concerned with like the perfume and the oil, and and the all the other wacky shit. Erin's nightgown disappearing and reappearing, and the cabs surrounding her. That scared the hell out of her.
Let me ask you this: Did she ever tell you that Paul Jr. was dressing up in her dresses?
No, that the kids all knew that though.
The kids knew that.
Janet didn't bring that up.
Dina knew that. I mean, excuse me, Danny knew that.
Yeah, but Danny heard Colleen and she said, "Oh ma, I was nice. I just said he was flamboyant."
Oh wow! So they all knew he was dressing up in the heels.
Leave it to Colleen to let everything out.
God damn. So
So
let me
Danny
ask you
was
this.
there that night that happened?
Yeah, Danny was there, bro. No. Danny wasn't. They all knew that he dressed up like that.
Yeah, the kids all knew.
So let me say this. Adi was there with your daughters the whole night. The cab was. When did you seen the cab getting towed, right?
Yeah, and Arthur did too. We all saw it, but we didn't know. We didn't pay any attention to it being towed away.
Which way did the tow truck come up? At that point, could the tow truck come up the street?
At that point, they could, yeah, because the cops Hamlet Street was unblocked when the tow truck.
So the
came.
cop came up Hamlet. I mean, the tow truck came up Hamlet.
Yeah.
And do you remember the tow company? You said something about your
Phil,
husband.
My husband. We thought it was Pat's. We just automatically thought it was Pat's because they had the city towing. But
what did Adi do when they were towing it? Did he go out to the tow truck?
Yeah, at that point I was talking. I think at that point, I'm trying to remember. I think I was talking to Paul, not little Paul. I was talking to her husband, Paul.
Paul
Her
Senior.
ex-husband.
Now, what time
Yeah.
at night was this?
Oh, it was late.
So what
Late.
did Paul came back after we put the kids up? He came back to the scene?
Yeah, he was there. I remember him being there. He said to me, "Will you do me a favor?" And I said, "What?" And he said, "Just keep your eye on the house. I don't know if Kerry will be coming and trying to get in." And I said, "Okay. I'll watch."
So, but the kids at that point, little Paul and Ryan were gone, and Aaron.
Yeah, they weren't anywhere around me at that point. So, but I think they were gone.
And do you remember who took the
Might have
dog?
been Paul's wife who took them. I really don't know.
Do you remember who took the dog? Joshua?
I think Addie. I'm not sure.
You think Addie took the dog?
I think Addie came back for the dog.
What?
When did he come back?
But I could be dead wrong. On that.
But wait a minute. So when Addie got, let me ask you this. So when Addie got when he got the cab towed, he came back to the scene. He like popped back up in the cab, driving the cab now.
Yeah, if he did, he parked the cab somewhere else. I didn't see the cab come back.
Oh, motherfucker.
What do you mean? So he popped back. What time at night do you think this was? If you could,
honey,
think.
I don't know. It was such chaos.
No, I got a couple. I got a couple questions, JFK. I don't know if she can hear me, but I want to ask.
And I think somebody may have told me Addie took the dog.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't see Addie take the dog, but I think somebody may have told me.
Do you know that?
I don't
Do you know
remember
that?
who.
Do you know that Addie says you said you were sitting next to Virginia Reckley, right?
Yeah, at some point in the night I was. Yeah.
No, you were with Virginia, and you were with it was you and Virginia, and you guys put Ryan in the police car, right?
That's when she put Ryan in the car. Yeah, I was hugging Ryan, and he had the skates on, and he was wobbly, and that's when Virginia came over, and she said, "Let me take him."
And
so she helped him take his skates off, and she sat him in the back of the cop car.
And Artie was right there looking for his key?
Yeah, he tried to run across the lawn, and the cops wouldn't let him.
And Virginia was right there, and you were right there.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know that I already said that he never seen Virginia Reckley that night, right?
Oh, he's full of shit.
Okay.
You couldn't miss Virginia.
Why would he lie and say he didn't see Virginia?
Why did he see invisible cats? I don't know why Addie says the things he says.
JFK.
So did he go inside the house at any given time to go get a kitty litter box? Did she have a kitty litter box in the kitchen when's the last, let me ask you this. When was the last time prior to you talking to Janet that you were inside her house?
Probably a month before.
And did you see a kitty litter box and kittens?
No, she didn't have cats.
Did she like cats?
She wasn't big about them. She wasn't crazy about them.
So let me ask you this. Hold on 1 second. I'm on a roll here there, Kevy Kev. What was her dog mean?
No, Joshua was sweet.
But do you think that if you put a cat in front of him, he would attack the cat?
I don't think he'd know what the hell to do with one.
Okay.
He was like a house cat. He was, he was in the house with Janet, or he was out for a walk. He wasn't. It wasn't a case of let's put the dog out in the yard. So he, if he ran into a cat, it was on a walk with Janet. That would be the only time.
Go ahead, Kevy Kev. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
I wanted you to ask Gina if she ever remembered like a candlelight vigil out in front of the house, or he said he went in and grabbed the cat box and left it in front of the gathering with the family for like prayers and stuff.
Hold on, he's gonna come in. She's a little delayed. Kevy Kev's gonna talk right now. Hold on. Here we go. Kevy's gonna ask you this question. Hold on a second.
Okay.
And then I had another question for her.
Hold on. Shh.
I'm here. No, she never had a cat box.
Did you see a visual like he asked? Was there a like they have a like visual?
A vigil? Yeah. One Christmas Eve they did that, and they nailed a big cross to the front of her friggin' house. I wanted to go out and bash them all.
Wow.
They what? They nailed a
They
big
nailed
cross?
they made a cross out of wood. They had it with them, and they nailed that. They hammered that onto the front of her house.
Jesus
it was Christmas
Christ.
Eve.
My other question is who cleaned up the house? Did the DPW come
I went
the
out
next
like
day?
a mad woman and told anybody
and
that was
cleaned the
in
house?
front of my house, it told them to screw.
Kev wants to ask who cleaned the house. Was it the DPW?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
So the next day, what did you do the next day that morning? Did you go outside? Was you up all night? Did you sleep in? Did you see Adi there the next day? Was the police presence still big out there?
I went out the first thing in the morning. I went out and I gave Bernie Doherty a cup of coffee. He was the cop they had sitting in front of her house all night.
Oh, Bernie
I
Doherty.
gave him a cup of coffee.
Is he still alive, Bernie? Is Bernie still around?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think we lost him. He was a good guy.
And you didn't see Adi pull back up, right? And go in the house to get a fucking a kitty litter box?
No. Bernie wouldn't have let anybody in. No. There was I don't know where Adi came up with this imaginary cat. But
Well, never mind the imaginary cat. He said he went inside the house and he walked through the murder scene and went to the kitchen to get the kitty litter box.
oh my God, I don't believe that. I don't believe a word of that.
Let me ask you this: if you walked through that dining room, how much blood was on that floor?
It would have been all over his feet. He couldn't have gotten through it without getting blood all over him. You couldn't have. Not the blood I saw.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they're just no. He didn't. He didn't go sashaying through that.
Wow. So Janet passes away that night. You see him looking for a key. You said he looked so fresh and so clean. You said his hair was wet.
Oh yeah, he was. Jesus, fresh as a daisy. And the
Which
rest
way
of us
did he
looked
come
like
up
the
the
Wrath of
street?
Jehovah.
Do you remember which way he came up the street? You said he came walking across the street, right?
Yep, he came across the street from where the cab was, from right near where the cab was.
And he said he lost the key in the front of the house, in the back of the house.
Yeah, he said, I got to look in the yard. I got to look in the yard.
So where he was looking for the key was in the back of the house where Eddie O'Brien came out?
Yep.
So he was looking for the key.
That's where
Eddie,
he was trying to get to, but the cops wouldn't let him.
Well, the cops had Hamlet blocked off in front of the cab, like towards where Eddie allegedly came out.
They had the whole of Janet's yard. Janet's yard goes downhill.
Right.
And they had the whole thing that was, they wouldn't let anybody in at all.
Was there
any part
was there
of it.
canine there?
And
there
was no, now there's a wrought iron fence around it, but there was no fence then.
It's a great question, Kevin.
And
Kevin got a great.
started,
Kevin got a great. Kevin got a great question. Was there any canine dogs? Did you see dogs out there? Did they bring the canines out?
No.
No canines.
They didn't have any dogs.
Did she see Artie pull up?
No. They were just all milling around on the lawn, and some were out in the back, but they weren't looking for anything actually. They were just all kind of standing about.
Did you see Marco and Gabi pop back up around 10 o'clock after they discovered the body? Did you see Marco Abreu? Did you remember seeing him?
No, I don't remember seeing him. There were so many people and kids, and that no, couldn't tell you whether I saw Marco or Gavi.
What can you tell me about John Roberts, who moved into the neighborhood from Georgia? We interviewed him too. Like,
Oh, he was a nice guy.
he was nice. Would he
He
be?
lived-
Would he
yeah.
lie? Would he be a liar by any chance?
Oh God, no. He was a born again. No, he wouldn't lie.
You know, we talked to
I
him,
mean,
right?
no. He was a nice guy. He was a sweet guy. He lived on the other side of Edward, and he was a born again Christian, and he was very. Yeah, I'd believe him. I'd make Artie stand on a stack of Bibles with his feet in holy water and still not believe him. But John, yeah, I'd believe him.
So Adi hung out in front of your house the whole time. You seen him go across the street with Phil's towing, and did you seen him walk across the street to the cab?
And that's when I lost sight of them. Then I turned. I don't know if that's when Paul said, "Will you?"
Did you see?
Will you watch the house?
Did you see Adi? Did you see Adi?
I turned away from the street because I didn't pay any more attention. I saw the tow truck, didn't pay any more attention to that at all. And I don't remember who. I don't remember if I was talking to Virginia or if I was talking to Paul. I don't remember time-wise. You know what I mean?
Right.
That may have been when Paul said to me, "Will you keep your eye on the house?" And
right.
I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I think the cops are going to be here all night anyway." And they were. But that's when I lost I wasn't paying any more attention to the cab, to Adi, I saw him go across the street. I saw the tow truck. I saw him go across the street. And then something else took my attention, and I don't remember what the hell it was. There was so much going on that I don't know. It could have even been my mother, because she was on the porch, too. Could have even been my mother asking for something. I don't remember what I was doing right at that moment.
Think Speak says, really want to know what time when the cab was towed. Investigation started at 3 a.m. So was the cab towed before 3 a.m.?
I believe so, yeah.
He confessed to what he saw because he was part of the scene, I'm convinced. Aunt BB said, Lady Zelda just said this is going to start unfolded 1/3/26. Okay, we got a reading. Goals. Thank you. We lost Kevy Kev.
How do you lose Kevy?
Yeah, Kevy just, I don't know. He probably hit a button. You know what I mean? A honey bun.
Oh, well, I'm good at that.
A honey bun might have fell out of his pocket. God damn, Kevy Kev.
Oh, God. You could live in some of them.
Yeah, of course I could. But, so Janet was she was scared. She said, if anything happens to her, she said, investigate, 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 correct?
3 times, yep. And she hit her fist into her palm 3 times.
3 times.
Yep. That will never leave my mind.
And now, why didn't you say anything at that particular moment?
To who?
I'm just saying to anybody, if you could have.
There was nobody to say it to. I mean,
like, did you turn around and say to Adi, like, when did you ever confront Adi after and say, hey, Adi, just to let you know, Janet said she was afraid of you?
No.
You never got a chance to do that?
No.
And when did you try to talk to the cops to explain that?
Oh, God, several times.
Did you go down to the police station?
No, I called.
And they just wouldn't talk to you?
No, they told me they said they have enough evidence on the case. They don't need any more.
I believe that. And did, by any other chance, Gina, did you see at the time, you probably didn't know, but in hindsight, do you remember seeing Tom Riley at the scene?
At some point, not that night. I didn't see him that night. But afterward, during all the media chaos out there, yeah, he came. I don't remember which day it was, but he was there.
And what was the vibes like? You was there during the whole trial, right?
Yeah.
What did Marka Brew testify? Do you remember Marka Brew's testimony?
No, I don't. To be very honest with you, I don't.
Man,
we
I
weren't
forgot
allowed in the courtroom and during the trial. We
forgot
weren't
to ask
allowed in the
Margo.
courtroom if we were on the witness list. So we were outside. We were in the hallway.
Hold on a second. Margo, are you still out there? Might check to the guards. You still out there? Because I have a question that I've been dying to ask you. I can't believe I failed. Did Marka Brew testify at any time that he asked, or did they pick up on that he had plenty of time to ask Eddie if he just seen him come out the bushes? He went to Midnight Convenient right after. There you go, Margo. So Margo, right? Your Honor, can I speak? I'm just saying this, Margo, right? He testified that he seen him run out the bushes, and then he seen him at Midnight Convenient. Did George pick up that he could have just asked him what happened to his hand? He never asked him what happened to his hand or why he came out the bush. He never picked up on that. Why wouldn't he say nothing to him at Midnight Convenient? Because at that point they were still friends and they didn't know what happened. Why wouldn't he ask him, hey, you got hit in your hand, she got stabbed, what happened? They didn't try to the defense didn't go in on that. They didn't pick up on that. Does that make sense?
Why didn't they? Why didn't
It makes sense to me, but I can't answer that question.
No, she just said yes. She's about to answer better though. That's not. She didn't answer that. She's about to though. Never. And is that a big problem, Your Honor? Did they fuck that all up, Your Honor?
Oh,
Your Honor, am I J.F.K. Jackson? Because why didn't they say you was at Midnight Convenient?
Midnight Convenient.
Why didn't you ask him what happened?
Yeah, you said you yelled his name and he never even responded.
No, you said he yelled his name and he looked over his right shoulder and he looked right at you. And you knew 1,000% it was him. God damn. You mean to tell me this paid dude, Bob George, didn't think about that?
He wanted more money from them.
Listen, I don't care how much money he wanted from him, man. That's the problem. No one told him that and to say that? That's crazy. That's Marco never saw his face. Exactly. Well, that proves that he never saw his face, because if he seen his face and he knew it was him, he would have asked him when he seen him 15 minutes later, a half hour later at Midnight Convenient, if he knew it was him. Wow, you got stabbed? Do you know Janet got stabbed? Did they stab you too? Who was it? Let's find him. Obviously, he didn't even think to ask you that because he never seen you there.
She said Marco never saw his face.
George did try to impeach him. Okay. Well, he would have had a better. And then think about this, Margo. He shows up at 9:30, right? He's on the scene of the murder. If anything, he's a suspect at that point. By saying Big Ed. They try to impeach him by saying Big Ed. Oh, I see. So isn't it true that he's seen him coming out the bushes, Margo, rolling down the hill looking crazy, looked over his right shoulder. Big Ed told him not, and Big Ed told him not to come by, and he came by anyway, huh? With the wire on. Because at that point, he was working with the police. He went by there to get information. Because they told him, if you don't say what we want, we're going to say that you're in on this. You're covering for your friend. Because you were there at that time. Police responded to a shoplifting incident at the business with a dangerous weapon and assault and battery on a police officer for the kicking the officer. Okay, I have no idea what that means. Could be.
About the Martin Landry.
So, Margo.
They're probably talking about Landry.
So when they seen how JFK analyzed his words, what? To saying things a kid wouldn't say, for sure. He wouldn't have said that. So they see him running out the bushes, him and Gavi, and then they go across the street to Ed's house, Big Ed's house, and they never say to Big Ed. We just seen little Ed flying out the bushes like a maniac, did a backflip, landed on the ground, and just ran down the street. They seen all that, and they didn't mention it to their dad, not knowing at that point they didn't know it.
Didn't they say they went back to Ed's and used the phone?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I just said.
And called Janet's house?
That's what I just said. Didn't I just say that?
I mean,
did I just say that?
Well, I didn't. I mean, yeah, you said that they were there. They were part of the scene.
No, they went to Big Ed's house and used the phone to call Janet, and they never mentioned to Big Ed that they just seen him flying out the bushes.
Exactly.
So you got 2 tries to try to figure out what happened. That doesn't make any sense. So Gina.
Yeah.
If you would, in closing, and I appreciate you coming on here. In closing, who do you think killed your friend, R.I.P., for 30 years? And I'm so sorry for your loss.
I still think it was Artie.
You didn't see.
I can't get the image out of my head of him being so fresh and clean and shiny. And
what else was he saying? Didn't you say he kept saying, "Oh fuck, I lost my key"?
Fucked. I'm so fucked. I am so fucked. I am fucked. Good. Because and he patting his pockets and everything, looking for the freaking keys that weren't in his pocket. And he just kept saying, "I am so fucked."
Okay.
And, I mean, I find that very interesting about the Landry kid, but I can't.
You're saying that
I can't shake the cab being all boxed in, and the fresh as a daisy Addie, and the lost keys in Janet's yard. I can't get beyond that as a pointer.
Did he ever wash his hands at your house?
No.
He never petted a cat, did he?
No. Like I said, they were lazy. My back porch was like a petting zoo, so the cats used to lay out there with the rest of the cage, where all the cages were with all the other critters in them.
Margo Nash says it was more than one perpetrator. We learned that tonight. There was different DNA matches. So yeah, he could have definitely been involved.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know that there was more than one. So, Addie sold coke too. I mean, we all know he sold that out of the cab.
Whoa.
God damn.
You all caught up, Addie? Hold on a minute.
We're working too, yeah. I mean, my man had to run across 3 lanes.
What did he do?
Come on.
He sold what? What did you say?
He sold coke.
Oh, goddamn.
Janet found Janet said that she found the drugs, what she called the drugs, in the refrigerator that was down in the cellar.
Oh.
And I said, "What kind of drugs?" And she said, "I don't know, white powder." And I said, "All right." So I mean, come on, we all know it was coke season back then.
Oh yeah. Yes, it was.
And he was in a cab, perfect place. Perfect place to sell the drugs.
Yep. Well, listen, Gina, I appreciate you coming up. If we have any more questions, man, come up anytime if you want to hang out. Anytime, girl.
No problem, darling.
Merry Christmas,
You gotta bring my boy home.
Yeah, we trying. We trying hard over here.
I know you are. You guys are great.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank
so
you.
ain't you.
You
Merry
really
Christmas.
are.
God bless.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, thanks, honey.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Peace and love.
You too, darling.
Bye.
All of you. Peace and love to you all. Stay safe and stay well. You too, Jay. You stay safe. Because you're just kind of a hothead here.
God
hey,
damn,
I'm
Jay,
always I'm always packing 2 guns.
You tell him to stay safe.
We're good. We're good. Thank you so much, Gina.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Great phone call. You all caught up, Adi?
Fucking Adi.
Wow.
Huh?
We also just found out by Margo in the chat that she said that when they got the recordings from Janet Downard's phone, they didn't see that Marco. They didn't have Marco on there making that call from there to there.
And we got this guy, ML.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I
Go ahead.
seen
What
in
you
the
saying?
chat earlier. I seen in the chat earlier. I think it was Erin Murphy. She said her question was ML a cab driver too? Did he drive cab?
I don't think he was. Out of curiosity, what was Janet like? Was she a tough cookie? They really treated her bad. Gina, if you're in the chat, Ava wants to know, out of curiosity, what was Janet like? Was she a tough cookie? Lady Zelda said shit's going to hit the fan on 1/3/26. Really want to know what time? We found that out. Miss 808 coming through. He confessed to what he saw, for sure. Wow. Everybody do yourself a favor. We want to see all green in the chat.
Static Selector.
Yeah, we all reppin' for Boston, Mass. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history, homie. We all reppin' for Boston, Mass. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history, homie.
Appreciate it. Give some memberships for the people who want to see everybody in green. For sure. Wow. Thank you so much, Becky, for the membership. Wow. Well, guys, this is going to be a short one tonight, but I think, man, it was powerful. It was powerful.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Part 34 was powerful. I want everybody to go back and replay it. Take out your notes. We got plenty to talk about, plenty to go over. The great, intelligent, eloquent, beautiful Margo Nash, the judge, and the jury, the one, broke it all down. And then, of course, we had the lovely, beautiful Gina Mahoney on the show. Two beautiful ladies that want justice for Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
We know the cab was parked 100% at that stop sign.
Yep.
So, and there's no way he could have got on that street. So that's a problem, Adi. That's a problem. That's
Big
a
problem,
huge
Marty.
problem.
Big time.
You claim you were parked there at the stop sign. You do claim you were parked there, but you claim you were parked there with your lights forward. And let me tell you something, bro. We're going to find that piece of footage. It's only a matter of time where we see that fucking cab parked at that stop sign. It's only a matter of time. We're going to find that. And if your lights ain't pointed this way and it's this way down the hill, you lied because you said you could have backed down Hamlet and banged a 3-point turn. If your ass is sticking out of Boston, you would have to go on Boston Street. And it wouldn't make any sense. You wouldn't even have to go down Boston Street if you were parked down. You could just drive down Hamlet Street. So you're just a fucking liar, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Period, point blank. That's it.
And we're the joke.
And we're the Joe.
That's right.
He's watching. It's a great show, isn't it? I
watching.
mean, it's pretty cool, this show. I mean, it's a pretty great live stream. I mean, it's better than the rest. I mean, you know what they say, right? There's a drop. They made this drop especially for us. You know? I think it goes a little something like this.
You're
Like
rocking with the best.
That fits this show perfect.
Yeah. Well, people, it's going to be a great week. Your man J.F.K. is going to be back at it tomorrow. I got some shit I got to do. I got to tighten some things up. But I appreciate everybody coming out. Jay Brill, moving fast, moving sturdy, keeping it sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we found out we're gonna find this guy Martin. We're gonna talk to him. We're gonna find out. We need to get them letters, point blank. Whoever has them, we need them.
Yep.
Because is there anything in them letters that say Artie? Is there anything else in them letters that he might have missed?
Right.
We don't know, but we're gonna find out. This is only episode 34. We're shooting for 1,000. So you do
That's
the math.
right, people. That's right.
I go by the name of J.F.K.
I go by Jay Verlon.
And I go by Kevy Kev.
Appreciate everybody coming out tonight. See you next flight. Peace and love. Uh-huh.
Static Selector.
Yeah.
Static Selector.
Yeah.
down the street, smoking Indo.
Why? Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Beef never dies. I hold a mean grudge. Life is cruel. I never knew love. How I feel with evil and it's running through my blood. Every day I'm trying, but I'm fucking up. Judge sick of seeing me, I'm doing time. Lost everything, even lost my mind. Gotta pay the price when you cross the line. That's alright. We all gonna die. All gonna die. They die first. All gotta go. Day out of worse. The hurt and the pain. Sitting in a cell. Poor basements. Living in hell. Who can you tell? Don't understand. Can't reach goals. Don't have a plan. Feeling so paranoid. My life is a lie. Now close your eyes and say goodbye.
Now it's time to say goodbye. I know better. Time to say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Police on the bus, yo, they took my hat. Let time pass and I got me a strap.